Train to become a mechanic at Universal Technical Institute, where you can prep for an
Hello, everyone. What is going on? Welcome back to yet again another Watch with Nordic live stream. And today we got a good one. The Montreal Canadiens and the Washington Capitals, Game 5. This is a series-clinching game. And we'll see if the Capitals are able to get it done here tonight. It's Game 5. We've just found out that Alexi Protas is returning to the lineup for the first time in these playoffs for Washington. So it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun finish here, possibly, to this first round series. I'm really looking forward to it. What's up, everyone? What's up, Bryson? How we doing? And yeah, we'll get into the game here in just a moment. But we do have two games today here. We have the Capitals and Canadiens in our first game. Then we also have Jets and Blues game number 5. So we got some good stuff coming over here to the channel once again today. Tomorrow is our off day, and then we will have Game 6 of Blues versus Jets on Friday. So, yeah, we're almost done the first round. It's been actually insane the amount of streams we've done. I think we've done like almost 20 streams just solely on the playoffs. So it's just been an insane run, and I'm grateful for you guys for sticking around. But this is only the second time we've streamed this series. We streamed Game 2. We haven't streamed any other game in this series just because of the fact that the times are the way they are. And, you know, on certain days I'm busy and don't have enough time. So that's why we've only been able to stream this maybe twice. Maybe we'll be able to stream Game 7. But I'd call it rather unlikely if we get to that point. But yeah, I'm kind of just, you know, locked in for the second round here. Whichever team obviously moves on, we will cover them in that sense. As well as that, too, we have a couple other games that we got to follow here as well. We also have the Battle of Florida Game 5 going on tonight as well. We'll see if the result of that one is actually determined tonight here as well. I could be making a crap load of videos here before I'm done tonight. So that just sounds so much fun with little to no sleep these last 48 hours. But that's okay. You do it because you love it, for the love of the game, am I right? All right, just give me a second. I'm making my Jets Blues thumbnail because I did not have time to make it earlier today. But we'll get ready here for the start of game numero 5. Starting goaltender preview. Jacob Dobes is in net for Montreal for the second straight game. And then Logan Thompson is in net for Washington for the 5th straight game. Let's see if there's any dirty plays or chirps or anything like that tonight. I am very intrigued because I've heard the last couple of games were very physical and very brutal in terms of the hits and the plays and the controversy. What's crazy is that there have been no suspensions to come out of this year's playoffs. Or this year's, this series, not this year's playoffs. So I'm interested with that, and this kind of feels like it's been the dirtiest series in the Eastern Conference, aside from the Battle of Florida. So, I mean, I really don't know. Like, I think all of these series have been pretty dirty generally. But, you know, that's kind of something you can take with what you will, obviously. But we'll get ready here to get started in a second. I appreciate everybody who has tuned in. I understand that there are a couple of other people who are doing this stream tonight. Like, I believe the SDPN's doing this stream. Adam Lyle does a good job at doing that. I'm sure there's a couple other people who are doing it as well. Talking Habs is also doing it too. Hot Take Hockey as well. So we're fighting up here against some pretty good competition. But I appreciate that for you guys tuning in. It is greatly appreciated. All right, that being said, let's get ready here for the start of this one. They'll do the national anthems. And then we'll get started here with the game. Who do I want to use? What about Pionk? Why not? Okay, I don't have a Neil Pionk picture. Montreal obviously trying to win this game here in Washington and bring it back to Montreal. I don't know. If they can win Game 5 here, there's a good chance this could go 7. Because if you go back to the Bell Center in that electric atmosphere, it's not impossible. So I think for the Capitals, you really got to close that out tonight. If I'm them, you really want to close that out here in tonight's game and not really give the Blues. I'm looking at the screen right now. Not give the Canadiens the opportunity to get back in this series like Toronto has with Ottawa. We'll get into that in a little bit as well. So they will do the national anthem, and then we will get started here live from Washington. Might be a competition, but you're the best. Thanks, Bryson. It's not really a competition, but I know there's other people who are bigger and are probably better at me than the commentary, so, you know, and they're obviously way more popular. Like Hot Take Hockey, he's way more popular. So I appreciate you guys choosing my stream, because I know, especially when we get further on into the playoffs, there will be a lot of times where I'm going to be competing with a lot of other people, so. Anyways, I'll stop talking about it. Ooh, they did a French version of the Oh Canada. Nice. That's a little. You see a lot of teams in America, they don't tend to do that. They just do the English version, but very respectful there from the Caps and this guy who's performing it. At least I think so. At least I don't think they. I'm sure they do it other places, but you know. Again, Alexi Protas returning to the lineup tonight in his first game of the playoffs this year. Has been out with injury for the last couple of weeks. I'm not sure who's coming out. I believe it might be Radish. And they'll move Leonard down to the fourth line. I'm not totally sure, but... finish this up here real quick. Thanks, Ian. You've been tuning in the last couple of streams. All right. That being said, that's a wrap for the national anthem. It's a two-game doubleheader here on the YouTube channel involving the Capitals and Canadiens, and later on the Blues and the Jets. However, we got this game first. It's Game 5, possibly the series-clinching game for the Washington Capitals. They're looking to head on to the second round here tonight and face who's waiting for them, the Carolina Hurricanes. Montreal looking to make this series longer and force a Game 6. Starting goaltender preview, Jacob Dobes, who has started 2 games in this series, is 1-1, has a .875, and has faced 32 shots. On the other end, Logan Thompson, who has played all 4 games so far in these playoffs for Washington, 3-1, a 2.54, and a .912. The Capitals are looking to close it out here at home tonight. Alexi Protas returning to the lineup for Washington. As for Montreal, they roll out the same line they had on Sunday. Caps Montreal, Game 5, live from Capital One Arena, is underway as we get some pushing and shoving here already. And the puck is dropped. Face-off won by the Caps. It's played down low. Sent up then to Duhaime. Duhaime will bank it down low into the boards now. Battling on the right side is Goulet. Picked up then by Dowd. Dowd to Duhaime. Duhaime looks for options here now. Will move it up to the point. Throws it back down low behind the net. Playing it now is Dowd. Battling now down low. Hudson tied up by Protas. Protas, who is starting on that fourth line. Huge hit there from Goulet on. I think that was Dowd on the right side, and Montreal will clear that one out to the Capitals zone. Duhaime banks it off the boards now as Dowd gets out there, and they'll throw a pass down low for Wah. I almost said Jensen. I got that Ottawa brain programmed. He is a former Cap. Dumped into the zone then by Sandin. Wilson now in the corner. Gives it to McMichael. McMichael to the point, a shot! And stopped in front. I think it might have been blocked by a Canadian. Here come the Habs the other way. Slavkovsky to Suzuki. Gets tied up and puck is quickly intercepted and the Caps are on the other way. Dubois banks it off the boards down low now for McMichael, who sends it in front. And there's no one there. Another point shot. And that one goes wide. Picked up then by Montreal on the right side. Slavkovsky takes it through the zone. Up to the front then Suzuki trying to bank it up. Stolen back then by the Caps. And Canadians quickly intercept that one the other way. Slavkovsky feeds it over to Goulet. Intercepted then by Beauvillier. Beauvillier now down the right side. Ovechkin into the zone. Dekes around Hudson. A backhand save by Dobes. Back now down low on the right side. McMichael battling for it. It's picked up by Dvorak and a 2-on-2 the other way. Anderson banks it off the boards. He'll skate it around past Alexiev and hit him down on the ice. And the Caps end up intercepting it anyways and clear it to center ice. Back now down low behind that, Lane Hudson, who is one of the Calder favorites. I believe that finalist list is getting announced any day now. So Caps fans look forward to that as their season may come to an end here very soon. At least there's one positive you can take out of this season. Well, there's multiple. Shot from the Habs, saved by Thompson. It's a pushing and shoving there around in front. Oliver Kapanen out there in the lineup today. Face-off coming now inside of the Washington zone. Shots are 1 apiece through this first period so far. This is Alexi Protas's first game since April 4th. He suffered a foot injury. He's wearing some kind of protection on his skates. That makes you wonder maybe he's not 100% or he's just very precautionary about his feet now after that foot injury. Back to the right side now. Mangiapane will clear it down low then for Eller, who gets tied up. Leonard now with the puck, tries banking it up to the point, stolen back then by Montreal. Armia through the zone, in is Heineman. Heineman now battling in the corner with Roy, sorry, forgot we're in Washington. Picked the puck up and cleared it out to the neutral zone, and Canadians will regroup. Carrier, who was acquired by this Montreal team. Pass up through the zone now, it's to the center ice to Anderson as it slides all the way into the Cap zone. No icing. Anderson will take it now down low along the right side. He's got Protas tying him up. Protas takes that puck, will bank it off the boards and pass out center ice. Here's Dowd. Nick Dowd. Van Riemsdyk a shot, and it goes wide. You had 2 of them going on that breakaway, and Van Riemsdyk got there first and missed that shot. Protas moves it into the zone. Stolen back then by the Habs. Around the right side, Evans banks it off the boards past Chikrin, down low into the corner. Taken back then on the right side by Carlson. He'll try banking it up to Newhook. Down low, Chikrin gets control. Throws it behind the net, McMichael. Sends a pass all the way through center ice. And down then for Ovechkin, who can't seem to spot the puck. I'm doing good, Andrew. How are you? Evans clears it into the zone now down low. Carlson will pick it up along the right side. Battling forward here on the bench side. It's cleared down low and a whistle for something. And I think we have a penalty. Because Demidov didn't look particularly happy there. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Never mind. I might have looked at it wrong. Never mind. Disregard. Thank you all for tuning in, though. I appreciate it. These are our last 2 streams in the month of April. We'll have a couple more at the end of this week, but tomorrow's our off day. Down low now, Chikrin with the puck. In front then, Dubois backhands it up. Wilson sends a pass all the way back down into the Canadian zone. It'll be an icing there against Washington. Showing off Spencer Carberry. We'll be previewing him a lot here in his second season as the Capitals head coach. He's been here for a little bit. He took this team back to the playoffs last year. And as well as that, too, he also obviously got them to this spot where they are right now, of course. Wasn't entirely him, but coach obviously plays a factor. At the point, Hudson shoots it up. It goes up and out of play here now with about 15:30 left in this first period. Shots are still one apiece. 0-0 here so far. I would expect for this game to be a tight game. I'm not expecting for this one to be very, like a blowout or anything like that. I wouldn't be shocked if it would be, but I'm not expecting it. Down low now, Carlson with the puck. Takes it around down low. Stolen back then by Montreal. Slavkovsky to the front. Suzuki saved by Thompson. Rebound. Just slides in on him and he'll make the save easily. But a good chance there for Suzuki as I attempt to pull up the Battle of Florida, which is later tonight. Nice. So already some good chances here developed by the Canadiens to get that puck in front. If you're the Caps, you need to clear out the house, honestly. I think that's the only way the Montreal's really scored a lot of their goals. That and rebounds. You got to keep your house nice and clear, and maybe you'll be okay. Also, stay out of the frickin' box as well. That's the biggest thing they need to do as well. Here's Wilson on the right side to McMichael, to Chychrun. Back to McMichael, who's knocked down to the ice and picked up again then by Montreal. Slavkovsky clears it down low into the zone. Carlson will get it back and slide it up then through the zone. It's stumped back in by Montreal. Battling now on the right side. Dubois takes it into the zone. Dvorak to Carrier. Matheson comes back then and regroups. And Matheson will move it behind his own net. And the Habs will regroup here. It's directed in by Heineman. It'll go in on Thompson. And he'll make the save there pretty easily. So I never updated the shots. My apologies. Thought I did. Guess I'm wrong. Showing off that hit from Wilson on Carrier. Face-off, won by the Habs. Matheson shoots it. Saved by Thompson as puck slides down low to the corner. Strome battling on the right side now with Armia. Down low, Roy over to Sandin. Sandin will redirect it back to Roy, who will send it through the neutral zone for Beauvillier. Beauvillier to Strome. Strome moves in. A pass over. Sandin, a shot. And it's tipped off Carrier and out of play. Montreal leading so far here. Shots are 4-1 in favor of them. But in terms of the shots that matter, neither team has any. April 30th. Man, tomorrow's May 1st. It's insane. Anywho, face-off coming here now inside of the Montreal end. It's going to be Eller versus Armia. And they'll throw out Dvorak and put in Anderson. What's up, Rick? Face-off coming here again. And it's won by the Caps. Mangiapane on the right side. Throws it down low. It slides all the way behind the net on the right side. Matheson trying to play it up. Back down low. In front. And stolen back by the Habs. Gallagher feeds it to the neutral zone. And that one's intercepted quickly. Dvorak will come back and regroup with his team. And it's chipped back down low into the Washington zone. Thompson plays up in front. Gallagher a shot. And what a save by Thompson. Yeah, if it weren't for Gallagher, if it weren't for Thompson making that play, Gallagher would not have had that shot. What's up, Bon? All right, we'll go to our first commercial break. It's still 0-0. Some chances for both teams, but Montreal leading in terms of the shots here early. Modernized Scooby-Doo eyes. Fall asleep last night, but wow, for Ottawa. Yeah, it seems like that's not over yet. We're going to get a Game 6 and possibly a Game 7. I'm very, very excited. What sucks, though, is I looked at the times. Game 7, if it gets to that point, like, might be at, like, 1 p.m., and I can't do that. I can't stream that game, which is very annoying. So we'll have to play it by ear, obviously. I'll hope for the best there. Watch With Nordic stream records. This is our 7th time streaming the Caps this year. They are 3-2-1 when we live stream them. As for Montreal, this is our 4th time. We are 1-1-1 when we live stream the Montreal Canadiens this season. So, stuff to look forward to there. Yes, I also want all 7 games just for the fun of it. More hockey. Who doesn't hate that? Or who doesn't like that? Look at the original version logo. Oh, yes, I know. I believe it. All right, face-off coming here again inside of the Washington zone. It's been a lot of Montreal here so far. They're showing off Tom Wilson, who is very famous or infamous, depending on how you want to look at it, for creating big hits and getting suspended. Everybody remembers that big one that he had back in 2018 where he was suspended for a good little bit. I think it was like 14 games or something like that. It might have been more, to be honest with you. So there's really no other player that's quite like him in terms of a sense that he can score in any way you want him to, and he can also, as well as that too, play at the level in a sense where he can hit and be physical. There's not a lot of players that are like that. Hudson at the point now to Demidov. Demidov moves in, dekes around Sandin, takes it to the front, and it's poke-checked away. Montreal picks it back up, will bank it down low. It somehow was kept in the zone now. Newhook in front for Suzuki. Stolen back by the Caps, cleared up to the point. A shot! And a glove save by Thompson. Montreal pressuring early here. Well then. Face-off coming here again inside of the Washington zone. Montreal with only 1 goal in the first period all series. So, typically when they play these games, they're either coming out very slow or they can't get one past Thompson. And as a result, Washington will go ahead early. And I think that if they are able to possibly get an advantage here, they might be able to get ahead here early. Hudson, a shot. That one is saved then by Thompson. But knowing my luck, the Capitals are going to score first now, aren't they? Just like what happened last night. At the point now, Hudson sends it back down low. Carlson behind the net, then over for Dubois, who feeds a fan puck off the center. Chikrin will take it back and over for McMichael. Connor McMichael into the zone. Looks for options. In front, Dubois circles around and gets tied up quickly there by Demidov down low. Fed up to the point. Over. Chikrin a shot and it goes wide. Back now on the right side, Dubois battling with Suzuki. Taken back then by Demidov. Demidov will bank it off the boards and all the way down low into the Washington zone as the Caps will regroup. It's 7-1 in terms of the shots right now for Montreal, and we get a whistle as something just happened in front of the bench, and I think there will be a penalty here against Washington. And it's against Dubois for the Caps, and the Habs will go to the power play here early. And, oh yeah, Dubois just knocks him down. Wilson looks and is like, yeah, I do that every day. But, yeah, Montreal going to the power play now. That is a huge break for the Canadiens. They can try and get up here on the board now. They've been pressuring these last couple of minutes, so I really wouldn't be shocked, to be honest with you. It's Dubois to the box for interference. Montreal will head to the power play, and this is the one thing that I said. You got to be very careful with this Montreal power play. It's been red hot these last couple of weeks, and especially in these last few games. It's been very, very good, and I'm a little bit worried now. Face-off won by the Habs. Hudson misses a pass, and it slides all the way down into the Montreal zone. Dobesh will get it back down low. Caulfield feeds it to Hudson. Hudson breaks it out of the zone. Canadiens are 5 for 13 on the power play this series. They were 21st in the league in the regular season. Demidov on the right side, stolen back then by the Caps and cleared all the way down the other way. Hudson back with it here now. Will skate it through the zone. Slavkovsky drops a pass back for Suzuki. To Caulfield. Caulfield to Slavkovsky. To Caulfield. To the point. Demidov moves in. Waits. A pass up in front. Hudson. Caulfield with it. In front. Demidov. Rebound. Suzuki. Denied in front. What a play by Alexei Protas to deny that puck. And here come the Caps. Tom Wilson. Shorthanded. Drops it back for Protas, who loses an edge. And picked up then by the Habs. Caulfield the other way. 4-on-3. Suzuki over. Slavkovsky in front. And pass back to Suzuki. Demidov moves in. Down low Slavkovsky. To the point Hudson. Says Caulfield. And saved by Thompson. Down low. Van Riemsdyk now to Sandin. This place is loud here in Washington. And we got a whistle here as somebody was taken down on the right side. And that will be a penalty. And it's going to be slashing against Uri Slavkovsky. That'll do it for the power play. And the Caps will get one of their own after their 4-on-4 is killed off. Yeah, not particularly great, to be honest with you, to take that penalty right then and there. But I guess we'll see how it goes from here. But some huge chances there in front for Montreal as they begin to, again, like they have been good this entire period. And I think that this penalty might be the dagger in that. Sucks. Offensive zone penalties are not ideal. So face-off coming up here now inside of the Montreal zone. I mean, yeah, that's one thing they kind of lack a little bit too. They're a little bit different in a sense from like a team like Ottawa where they have veterans who have been in the playoffs before. Like their main core of guys were in the Stanley Cup final, like Suzuki and Caulfield, and I'm pretty sure Matheson. Was Matheson there when they went on the run? I don't believe so, but I know like Gallagher and them were there. You have that experience in the playoffs. So they're more disciplined than like a team like Ottawa is, but even still, like some of those guys are not so sure. Newhook with the puck in the Washington zone, shoots it, blocked off a Capital, and picked up then by McMichael. 2-on-2, McMichael with Sandin. Drops it back, Sandin moves in, shoots it above the net. Caps are now on the power play here. That puck goes up and out of play. And here with about 10:49 to go, Montreal leads 8-1 in terms of the shots. It's been very lopsided in terms of that, which makes me a little bit intrigued for how the first goal is going to go. What's funny is, like, whenever I watch a game, you always see a team that starts off pummeling shots early, and then they allow the first goal. A shot off the point, they score! Look at that! Ovechkin on the power play, and it's 1-0 Washington. Well, guess I'm sorry, Canadiens fans. Oops. I'll take the blame for that one. Alex Ovechkin off the faceoff right away as I say that. And there you go. I feel like that is such a common thing that happens. Honestly. Oh my god. Ovi with those aura. Brutal there for Montreal. They had like control. They had the power play, and then they take that tough penalty. The faceoff comes back into their own zone, and then Ovechkin roofs that one past Dobes on the 5-0. That is his 30th career playoff power play goal, which is tied for 5th all time. That's Ovechkin doing what he does best. Chychrun clears it down low into the Montreal zone. Matheson then gives it back for Goulet on the right side. And a pass all the way down the other way will be an icing against Montreal off of that frame. That's Ovi's 4th goal this series. He's been unreal in terms of that. We see what happens now. Yeah, I know, right? I guess it's just some kind of omen that I have or whatever. I have no idea. But Washington on their 2nd shot of the game gets it through there. Down low, Carrier to Matheson. Matheson on the right side. Anderson banks it off the boards now. And the Caps will regroup. Alexiev feeds a pass up to the neutral zone. Ovechkin banks it forward. It'll be taken back then by Matheson down low. On the right side, Alexiev battling with Dvorak. Over for Carrier in the defensive zone as Montreal will bank that puck out and back into the Washington end. Van Riemsdyk to Strome, who backhands it off the boards. Puck slides all the way down low. Over for Gallagher, who banks it down low, and it's an offsides instead against the Canadiens. Alex Ovechkin with the go-ahead goal just about halfway through this first period. It's 1-0 Washington here early. And that's a point for Strome, which means my player pool is epic. I need to be put in jail. I still can't believe I did that. That's the 2nd night in a row. Last night I jinxed the Ottawa goal, and now I accurately predicted what happened in Montreal and Washington. Washington, a power play goal for Alex Ovechkin. Time for Get More, brought to you by Geico. And Montreal and Marty St. Louis talked about getting off to a good start. They wanted to attack the game early. All right, still 1-0 Washington here from Capital One Arena. Again, if the Capitals win here tonight, they will move on in advance and take on the Carolina Hurricanes, which will be a very intriguing series. Those are the top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference. And you obviously remember that these teams have played each other a couple of times, especially towards the end of the season here. And when they faced off, especially in the one stream we did back at the beginning of April, or the end of March, they had a pretty physical altercation. Armia in front now. They cap it in a shot, and a save there by Thompson. And yeah, I think that series will be very, very physical and might be worse than this one. Here's Leonard circling it around. Can't get enough oomph on that puck. Armia picks it up then. Xhekaj with Kapanen on the right side. He'll just bank it down low. Thompson takes it back behind the net. Van Riemsdyk over then for Protas. Eller through the zone. He's got Mangiapane with him. Mangiapane. A pass over. Leonard, a shot. Saved by Doge. And down low in the corner. On the right side, Slavkovsky feeds a pass through into the neutral zone. Chychrun picks it up and clears it in. And the Habs will have to regroup off of that play on the right side now. Sent to the neutral zone. Chychrun. Back then for Dubois. Dubois into the zone. Shoots it, and it goes wide. Back now behind the net. Wilson for Eller. Eller waits in front. Chychrun! He scores! Jacob Chychrun on the backdoor feed. It's 2-0 Caps. And that's good on Chychrun there for reading the play, noticing nobody's there in front. And right there, a pass from, I think that was Dubois. I'm not 100% sure. my memory is. Oh, it's probably Wilson. I have no idea. But a pass in front to Chychrun on the back door makes it 2-0 Caps here midway through this first period. But that's the type of play there that, you know, as an offensive defenseman, you need to be able to read plays like that. And Chychrun has that sort of talent. And as a result, the Caps have a 2-0 lead here through the first period. Sandin breaks it into the zone. Shot saved by Dobes. On the right side now, Newhook to Evans. Evans to Hudson. If you're Montreal, you want to get a goal here very quickly to just answer back. Puck now down low into the Washington end. It's an icing there against Matt Roy. That's Chychrun's second of the series. That is the second goal on, I think, 5 shots that Jakub Dobes has allowed tonight. Definitely not ideal. It's been a lot of Caps here through these last couple of minutes, so not perfect there. Down low in the zone. Goulet will backhand it through into the neutral zone, picked up then by the Washington defense. Sandin sends a pass up. Bavillier now will bank it off the boards, and the Caps will regroup. Through the neutral zone, bank down low Bavillier. Bavillier moves it in, will circle around and wait, gets tied up by Hudson, and back now down low. Bavillier loses his edge, and Montreal will pick it up. Behind the net, Hudson feeds it up to Evans. Evans through the zone will just clear it right in, and racing for it on the right side. It slides out in front, picked up. Anderson a shot, and that one goes wide. Back then, Gallagher to the point to Carrier. It's intercepted quickly by Leonard, who banks it off the boards now to center ice. They'll fight here on the right side. Van Riemsdyk to Mangiapane through the zone. Back to Leonard. Leonard moves it in, shoots it, saved by Dobes. Anderson, 3-on-3, drops it back for Gallagher. A pass over. Matheson a shot, and that one is stopped by Thompson. I think it might have went out of play. So some chances for both sides, but so far, it's been all Capitals here through these last couple of minutes. And it looks like Battle of Florida is getting ready to get underway as well. So we will monitor that as that moves along, but that's Ovechkin's 12th goal in potential series-clinching games. He's tied second among rookies. Or second among players. What the heck? Why did I say rookies? Why would he be tied with rookies? Anyways, I'm probably just reading it wrong. Face-off coming now in the Capital Zone. Suzuki versus Duhaime. It's won by Washington. At the point, kept in by Montreal. Cleared back down low. Duhaime the doubt on the right side. Puck is played out in front. Here's Chychrun with Protas. Chychrun. Protas over to Chychrun. And he shoots it. And it goes off of Dobes. Dobes. That's how you say it. Why am I, butchering his name so hard? Montreal fans are probably heated with me right now. I mean, they already don't really like me as it is. All right, face-off coming here now inside of the Montreal zone. Washington with the early lead here so far. It's 1-0. Or 2-0, sorry. McMichael, one back down low. Stolen back then by Montreal. Matheson feeds it up through the zone. It's picked up by Heineman. Stolen back then by Chychrun on the right side. Chychrun banks it up behind the net. McMichael to Wilson. Wilson feeds a pass up. Sent around now down low. Chychrun to Dubois. Dubois banks it up for McMichael and quickly intercepted by Montreal and cleared down the other way. Chychrun on the right side. Carlson gives it to McMichael. McMichael banks it down low into the zone. Behind the net, Wilson to Dubois. Dubois sends it behind the net to McMichael, who waits, throws it in front. Wilson, a shot! And what a save by Dobish. Good Lord. What a stop from Jacob Dobish to rob Tom Wilson in front. And I think if you let that goal in, that might be it with the way this game's going right now. So what a save there from Jakob Dobish, as I continue to butcher his name. Shots are 8-7 in favor of the Canadiens, but Washington has had the upper hand here through these last couple of minutes as time winds down here now in the first period. Jakob Dobish, 23 years old, from Czechia, one of the prospects for Montreal that kind of shocked this year. We didn't really expect for him to get that much time here, especially in the playoffs, and he's gotten some time here today, as I think we have a penalty coming up against Washington. And it's going to be against the Caps. Brandon Duhaime to the box for, I think, high sticking. And that being said, we will see Montreal get yet again another power play here. This could be very pivotal. Ooh, yeah, that's brutal. So that will be a call. I'm not really shocked at all that that is a call anyhow. And Duhaime will go to the box. And this is probably a very pivotal power play for Montreal. They need to get something going here and get on the board at the very least at the end of this period. They had one shot on that power play. They also drew a penalty in the middle of that one, or took a penalty in the middle of that one. Hudson at the point. Moves it around, moves it in then. Caulfield. Back to Hudson. Hudson to Caulfield. They exchange passes. Suzuki now down low. Looks for options. Feeds it back up then to the point. Over to Demidov. Demidov to Slavkovsky. Back to Hudson. Caulfield, a shot! And it goes up and out of play. This is a must-score power play for Montreal. Face off here now, won by the Habs. Demidov at the point. Holds it. Hudson waits to Demidov. Will throw it back up to Hudson. Over then for Caulfield. Caulfield to Hudson. Hudson to Demidov. Demidov regroups now. Sends it down low. Slavkovsky to Demidov again. Back down low. Roy intercepts that pass. It's picked up again then by the Habs, however. Slavkovsky to Suzuki to Hudson. Waits, gives it over to Suzuki again. Back down low to Hudson, a shot in front of the net. And back down low in the corner. Caulfield throws it back up to the point. Hudson with Dowd, battles with it, gives it over to Caulfield. Down low, Suzuki in front, and Demidov can't find it. Hudson banks it down low. It's intercepted by Washington and cleared all the way down the other way. And now down low. 40 seconds left in the power play. They'll get their second unit out there on the ice. Through the zone, Newhook. Comes through center ice. Dekes around Suzuki. Pass up then for Matheson. Matheson moves in and just loses the puck. And it's cleared by Washington the other way. McMichael goes down there shorthanded. He'll fight with Dobish. And it ends up being intercepted anyways by the Habs. Suzuki down the other way then into the zone. Newhook to Gallagher, who gets tied up with the puck. Heineman in these last seconds shoots it, and it goes up and off the arm of Thompson. Out of the zone now, Matheson to Newhook, and that'll do it for the power play. Newhook a shot, and that one goes wide. Back then down low, Caps will get it right back. Sandin. Down low now, it's Van Riemsdyk regrouping with it here now as time continues to wind down. About 3:40 left here in this first period. Down the right side, Carrier will shoot it down low into the zone. Behind the net now, Chychrun picks it up. Back to Armia. Sent up to the point. Here come the Caps. Strome Into the zone, he's got Ovechkin and Chikrin. Strome to Ovi! Saved by Dobish. Taken back then by Montreal. Into the zone, it's cleared down low by Goulet. Wilson battling now with Evans, who tries sending a pass out in front. Down low on the right side, Ovi banks it off the boards. He's got room. Ovechkin on the rush with Wilson. Ovi a shot, save again on Ovechkin from Dobish. Montreal tries to send it down the other way. They'll just get a line change off, and Roy fighting down low. Reverse hit there on Anderson. And on the right side now, it's kicked up to the neutral zone. Here's Leonard. Ryan Leonard through the zone, loses the puck, taken back. Bavilier shot, save again from Jakub Dobish, who is quite literally keeping the Canadiens in this game. Oh my goodness. Some huge saves there from Montreal's backup goaltender, who has looked unreal in this one here tonight. Thank you all for tuning in so far. I appreciate it. What's up, one of them? How we doing? Ooh, Lightning are leading early. Gage Gonsalves with the go-ahead goal there for the Bolts, and they are up 1-0 there in that game. It's good to see. Again, we got another stream here later tonight. Jets versus Blues at 9:30. So that game will be very, very, very intriguing when that goes down. That might determine the series right there. Yeah, Gage Gonsalves with his first career playoff goal directed in front. And the Bolts lead 1-0 there, so that's pretty nice. And then the Cats tied it! Oh my god, of course they did, dude. I didn't even notice that. So we're tied up at 1, and that lead lasted how long? Oh my god, it only lasted like 2 minutes. Jesus. It's rough times there in Tampa Bay. I just pulled up the game on my right side here, so I'll be able to commentate it midway through if there's anything that actually happens. Obviously, Tampa Bay facing elimination in that game as well. So we might have 2 teams knocked out of the playoffs here after tonight. Face-off coming inside of Montreal defensive zone. It's won by the Canadiens. Cleared all the way out of the zone. Battling for now at the line. Protas will dump it back in, and Dobish will go out in the net to play it. Behind the net now, Matheson. Gives it up then through the zone. Demidov down the right side. Demidov moves in, fires it, and blocked by Roy. Back now on the right side. Demidov gets knocked down low. It's still on the right side. It finally slides back down low for Dubois, who trying to break it out. Passes his plate in front, back up to the point. Matheson down low then as Newhook to Matheson. A shot, and it goes down low into the corner and directed out of the zone by Montreal. And here's a rush now the other way. McMichael, 1-0, beats it. He's in. Saved by Dobish. What a play in front. And what a rush by McMichael to get a shot on goal. There's been a lot of that in this series. A lot of breakaways. Eller, now down low on the right side. Battling in the corner now. It's deflected all the way into the Washington zone, and no icing there. All right, I'll see you later, one of them. Chikrin feeds it through the zone. It goes back in down low. Xhekaj loses an edge, and Leonard will try playing it in front. Back then for Suzuki. Suzuki up to Caulfield. Intercepted there as Caps try and play it. Back down low. Chikrin regroups, and it slides all the way in on Carlson, who will play it around. Approaching the final minute here of this first period. Slavkovsky banks that one off and out of the zone. Hudson will get back and regroup. Down low then, it's taken back by Gooley. Now down low as you hear some Let's Go Caps chants. Gooley through the neutral zone. Here comes Hudson now down the other way. Lane Hudson moves it in. Looks for options. Fires it, and it goes up in the air and behind the net. In the last minute of play here in the first period. Van Riemsdyk through the zone then for Duhaime. It's banked back in down low. Duhaime with it. We'll try sending it in front. But Hudson's right there down low on the right side. At the point. Roy a shot. And it goes wide. Van Riemsdyk to Duhaime. Back to Roy. Roy waits. Throws it in a shot, and that one's wide as well. Shots are 11-9 in favor of Washington. Back then now, Dowd trying to send it back up to the point as they fight for it here in the corner. On the right side, Dvorak battling with Alexiev. Down low, Hudson picks it up as the last seconds run down, and that will do it here for the first period. 20 minutes in the books. Chychrun and Ovechkin put the Caps ahead by 2, and they are 40 minutes away from advancing to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. That being said, it is first intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We'll be back for the start of the third period momentarily. I don't know what I just put that on. What did I just do? Oh, yeah, wrong thing. All right. Let's get ready for the start of the second period here momentarily. That being said, I got to make my clips for that little segment there. But what a period from Washington. They get hot after Montreal started that one immediately, and they get themselves ahead there. Good stuff. All right. It's 1-1 in the Battle of Florida Game 5 right now as well. That's worth mentioning there too. We will obviously see how that game transpires, but, you know, Tampa just looking to stay alive. All right, time to make the good old clips that we can post everywhere. All right. I'm not exactly sure what the second round schedule is going to look like. I will say this, though. We will be live on Monday for the NHL Draft Lottery. I'm not 100% sure what the games look like. There's none of them scheduled. But we will be live for the NHL Draft Lottery on Monday, May 5th. I'm looking forward to it. I am very excited. And I guess we'll have to see who gets picked first. All of that good stuff. We'll have to make a new setup. We'll have to definitely move some things around and see what we can do to get that one done.
Not getting the results you expect? Don't use AI trained on any old data.
And my device does not have storage. That's wonderful. Still 1-1 in the Battle of Florida. Do I have a backup drive for storage? No, my phone is just full with stuff, so I have to like delete some things real quick off my phone, and then I should be okay to edit and upload these. It's just annoying because I can't really delete a lot of the stuff right now. I gotta wait till after the playoffs are done. Just gotta do it, I guess. Anyhow, let me look at the shots. Shots accurate. 11-9. How's my clock looking? Ooh, I might actually be kind of on time this time. Let's see. Oh my god, I'm a little bit ahead. Can't get it right. I'll never get it right. I will never get it accurately right. Been trying all playoffs to do so. I know, like, nobody cares, but I care. All right. Oh, it's 2-1 Panthers. Isn't that wonderful? It's been very lopsided in terms of that. Very lopsided in terms of that, which makes me a little bit intrigued for how the first goal is gonna go. What's funny is, like, whenever I watch a game, you always see a team that starts off pummeling shots early and then they allow the first goal. A shot up the point, they score! Look at that! Ovechkin on the power play, and it's 1-0 Washington. Well, guess I'm... Marchand making plays to Lundell in front. Oops. What's funny is, like, whenever I... Funny is, like, whenever I watch it... I can't believe I did that again, dude. They need to send me to prison. Up, they score! A shot off the point. Oh, the first goal. A shot off the point. Pummeling shots early, and then they allow the first goal. A shot off the point. They score! Pummeling shots early, and then they allow the first goal. A shot off the point. They score! Starts off pummeling shots early, and then they allow the first goal. A shot off the point. They score! Look at that! Oh, that's... I'm a little bit delayed, aren't I? Oh, yeah, I'm way delayed. Holy crap. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate it. Again, we got 2 streams tonight. We got Jets and Blues after this one. I guess we'll see if this game does like end up going to overtime. We might end up being a little bit delayed with that. Again, you guys know my rule. If it goes to double overtime, we cancel the game afterwards, which I really kind of don't want to do. I'm looking forward to live streaming Jets and Blues. That should be a really fun one. Oh, and Tampa tied it. Who scored the goal? I'll take the blame for that one. Ovechkin off the face-off right away. As I say that, and there you go. I feel like that is such a... dog food in your fridge? It's not dog food. It's fresh pet. You'll need little veggies. That you feed your dog. So it's dog food. You were so right about her. Fresh pet. It's not dog food. It's food food. What happened? We lost that game. Next, you were saying we won. Welcome back to the Electric First Intermission Report. What's funny is like whenever I watch a game, Robert Thomas and the Blues will try to go up 3 games to 2 against Kyle Connor and Winnipeg. Huge game in the bag. Let's talk to Stanley Blues. Look into Jake Neighbors of the St. Louis Blues off to a good start in his Stanley Cup playoff career. 1 goal and 4 assists. What's it like playing Stanley Cup playoff hockey? Yeah, it's exciting. It's everything you dream of as a kid, getting to compete for the Stanley Cup at this time of year. That's what you want as a player. So, for me, being the first time in my career, it's been exciting. The series has been fantastic. I think it's been one of the... Oh, I think he's kicked me out of content. Enjoy your content, bud. Nothing but respect. Thank you, lad, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, we got this stream here tonight. Then we have another stream after this one. Tomorrow's the off day. But yeah, I appreciate you saying that. That means a lot. Especially since I've been putting in a lot of work recently. I haven't really been sleeping that much. I had this draft thing with Mike Bartner, and I decided I'm going to take a nap before. And then I woke up like 20 minutes after we were supposed to record. What's the message from him? Yeah, it's all about us for Monty, focusing on what makes us successful and our habits, our game management, the details of the game. I think we pride ourselves on the little things, and obviously I think that's what playoff games are won is who can do the little things better, and things like going on net and obviously being physical and winning uphill battles. So those things are important to us. Those are the things he preaches, and we try to hone in on those. 23 years old and playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Still 2-2 in the Battle of Florida. We got about 3.5 minutes to the start of the second period. Might not even have time to get this other. All right, let's get ready here for the start of the second period. Little first period recap. Goals from Alex Ovechkin and Jacob Chychrun as Montreal faces elimination. If they want to force a Game 6 at the Bell Center, they're going to need to pick it up here and pick it up fast. That is Ovechkin. The goal came off the draw. The other rush down the other way as Strome moved it over then for Chychrun, who banked that one back down low. Ovechkin here tonight, though, has been very notable, making some good plays and has looked great tonight for Washington in this possible series-clinching game. That's Ovechkin's fourth goal of the series. That's his 76th career power play goal. I pressed on the wrong freaking stream. I thought I had 6.4 thousand people on it. All right. All right. The second period of Capitals versus Canadiens is underway. Face-off won by Washington. Sandin plays it over to Roy, who banks it off the boards. At center ice, it's cleared back down low. Dobish around along the right side. Puck slides back into the defensive zone. Sandin with it and an icing against Montreal. Showing off Demidov, came over from Russia at the end of the season this year. Played 2 games and has played all of these playoffs. I got Jets. I think Jets bounce back, Kale. I think the Jets bounce back and get that series leading game. Battling here on the right side inside the Capital zone. Down low, Caulfield. Trying to bank it around behind the net. Wilson feeds it up then to Dubois, who tries backhanding it out of the zone. Cleared all the way down and racing it the other way. McMichael slides past back. Dubois in front and almost tipped into the net by a Montreal own and just wiped out the net there. I'm not sure who that was, but that looked brutal. It was Suzuki. Jets bounce back, but lose in 7. Okay, I could get behind that. And Suzuki ran into the net. I need to watch this play again. So they're rushing the other way. It's McMichael who banks a pass over. Then Dubois throws it in front. It's tipped by Suzuki. Wilson, I'm not sure if he intentionally pushed him. That might have been a reflex. But I think he kind of directed Suzuki into the post of that net, and that's got to hurt. That's not perfectly ideal. He's still on the bench. But I'm sure he's definitely hurting right now. And I already know Habs fans are going to be very unhappy about that. Wilson's been a thorn in their side all series. Face-off coming here now outside of the Montreal zone. It's one down low. Matheson through the zone. To Carrier. Carrier through the zone. Clears it in now down low. Duhaime on the right side. Chychrun gets it back then for Dowd. Through the neutral zone. Alexiev and tries moving it forward. Protas to Dowd. Dowd dekes around a backhand save in front by Dobish. Played along the right side. Kept in by the Caps. Down low is Protas. Protas banks it around behind the net. Dowd in front. Protas' shot. And a save by Dobish. On the right side, Chychrun. Circles around now. Feeds a pass over then for Dowd, who sends it back down low. Chychrun tries banking it around. It's picked up quickly then by Newhook. Alexander Newhook. Back down low then, Xhekaj. As the Canadiens will regroup. Savard. Sends a pass up into the neutral zone. Picked up then by Newhook. Newhook will bank it down low to Strome. To Alexiev. Alexiev sends a pass through. Ovechkin will take it and clear it all the way down the other way. Here's Josh Anderson on the right side. Picked up in front. Rebound. Ovechkin. And another save by Jakub Dobish. Unreal. Here's Newhook who banks it down low into the zone. Along the right side now, Alexiev battling forward in the corner. Washington still trying to play it here. It's in the Capitals' end. On the right side. Behind the net, Gallagher. Feeds it up to the point. Matheson trying to send it around. It's tied up on the right side by Washington. Gallagher gets it back. At the point, Carrier. Pass back and forth to Matheson. Matheson shoots it. Blocked in front by a Hab. And Dvorak now down low back behind the net. Throws it in front. Saved by Thompson on Gallagher. He'll take that one and fire it wide back up to the point. Dvorak is there with Matheson again. He shoots it. And that one also goes wide. Strome banks it off the boards then for Beauvillier. Beauvillier will dump it back down low into the zone. And the Habs will regroup. Slavkovsky through center ice to Suzuki. Over then for Caulfield. Caulfield tries feeding a pass over. It's stolen back then by the Caps. And they try and clear it. Habs will keep it in. Caulfield deking around. Down low on the right side. Picked up then Eller, who tries moving it the other way, will clear it down low into the Montreal zone. It'll be Hudson getting it. That is Montreal's second shot since Washington scored their first goal earlier in the game. On the right side, it's Slavkovsky. Throws it up to the point. Hudson shoots it, and it goes wide. Wilson feeds a pass up. Dubois, 3-on-2 now for Washington as they clear it down low into the zone on the right side. And that puck is dumped back into the Washington end. Thompson will regroup. Yeah, Lightning are probably cooked, but it would be nice to see them kind of fight their way back because I do have them going to the conference finals. My bracket's cooked if that changes. Here they come the other way. Mangiapane, a shot. That one deflects down low on the right side. Wilson intercepted there. It's cleared out then to center ice, and Carlson will regroup with it then for the Caps. Wilson sends a pass forward. Backhanded down low then by Eller. Jakub Dobeš will play it then to Jack-Eye. Up forward then as they'll rush it. Kapanen banks it off the boards now down low. Getting it now is Chychrun on the right side. Heineman trying to send it up to the point. Stolen back then by the Habs. Cleared down low. Heineman racing for it. Gets tied up by Chychrun down low. Hello from Vladislavskak. Probably saying that wrong, but nice. Welcome. Demidov banks it off the boards on the right side. Down low battling with Eller. Chychrun steals it back. And time continues to wind down here in the second period. Just some back and forth action. Here's Ryan Leonard. Leonard moves it in. Dekes around and poke checked away by Alex Carrier. Here they come through the zone. Evans banks it back. A pass in front for Demidov. It's intercepted by Leonard and cleared the other way by Washington. Racing for it now down low. Demidov battling with Dowd. Stolen back then on the right side. Pass to the neutral zone. Newhook fighting for it. Caps cleared the other way. Into the zone now. Over. A shot from Duhaime and a save by Dobeš easily. And they get it right back. At the point. Sandin to Duhaime. At the point. Roy moves it around. Tries banking it now down low. And we got a penalty here against Montreal. And a slashing penalty against I'm not sure who. But regardless, the Capitals will go to the power play. And it's going to be against Mike Matheson. And yeah, not ideal there. But the Caps have really controlled this game through these last couple of minutes, and especially through this entire sequence here. Montreal led early, and then the Caps just kind of took off. And that's what we've seen here through a lot of these games that they've played in this series, where Montreal starts off hot and then they end up getting cooled off. Little update after 20 minutes in the first period. It's 2-2 in the Battle of Florida, as the Panthers look to advance to the second round for the, fourth straight year? 22, 23, 24, 25? Yeah, fourth straight year. So power play for the Caps. They're 1 for 1 tonight with the Ovechkin goal earlier. Wilson played around the right side. It's cleared out then by Montreal, and they'll have to regroup. Carlson takes it back down low into the zone. John Carlson, longtime Washington Capital, will bank it up then through the zone. Ovechkin will clear it in. Back down low. Dobeš to Strome. Battling now in the corner. Savard sends it up to the point and cleared all the way down the other way. Logan Thompson will pick it up then and gives it to Carlson. Caps will move it through the zone. Got about 13:38 here left in the second period. Strome on the right side, moves it down low. Wilson feeds it over. Ovechkin shoots it, and it goes up and wide and out of play. "30 career playoff power play goals is insane. And he's only 8 away. He's not entirely out of the question, especially if Washington goes on a deep run here again. It really is not out of the question for him to kind of catch that record. And I mean, he basically holds every other record, so. And that involves goals. Ovechkin on the right side to Strome. Played in front then by Montreal. They intercept it. Here they come the other way. 3-on-1. Evans in the zone. A pass over! And it goes wide. Oh, man, they got 3 players down low as well. Armia now battling in the corner. Evans will shift it up to the point, and the Canadiens will regroup and try and kill some of it off. Carrier with 45 seconds left. On the right side, here's Dvorak into the zone. Dvorak moves it around, fires it, and a save by Thompson with his chest. Carlson back then for Chychrun. Chychrun will clear it into the zone. Played back down low then. Dvorak battling with Wilson. Savard now with it, who will be retiring at the end of this season. This could be his last NHL game tonight, possibly. Wilson to the point to Ovechkin. Ovechkin moves it in, shoots it, and that one goes wide. At the point, Carlson back with it. Down low for Strome. 10 seconds left on the power play. Strome to Carlson to Dubois. Dubois moves in, waits to the point. Strome gets tied up there and cleared into the zone. That'll do it for the power play as Montreal gets their extra guy out there. Wilson now down low. Back then for Dubois. They got 3 defensemen out there. At the point, Strome to Sandin to Roy, who waits and fires that one down low. At the point still. Down low, Dubois trying to get to it. He's hit off the puck, and Montreal will not get it out. Man, brutal here. Sent up to the point. Matheson trying to clear. They still have 3 defensemen out there. Finally, they'll get him off. Anderson feeds a pass over then to nobody, and the Caps will steal it right back. McMichael into the zone. Feeds it over. Down low now, it's Dowd. To McMichael again. He shoots it just wide of the net. Dubois now down low. Throws it in front and stolen back by Hudson and the Habs. Here they come. 3-on-2. It's Caulfield. Caulfield into the zone. Shoots it. And it goes wide. Up to the point then. Slid back down low. It'll be taken back down by Caulfield. And stolen back then by Hudson down low in the corner. Suzuki feeds a pass up then for Hudson on the right side. Back for Suzuki. To the point to Hudson. Hudson shoots it and blocked in front. McMichael banks it down low into the zone. Protas racing forward here with Jackeye. Stolen back then by Montreal. Slavkovsky, 4-on-2. Into the zone. Slavkovsky shoots it. Fans on the puck. And Washington will rush the other way. It's Ovechkin. Battling on the right side with Matheson. Ovechkin gets there down low and kicked back around then for Caulfield. Shots are 17-12 in favor of Washington. It's been basically all Caps the moment that first goal went in for them. And we're about halfway through the first period here now. Up to the point. Carrier shot. And he fans on that one too. Oh my goodness. Up at the point, Matheson holds it. Gives it back down low then for Evans. Stolen back then by Washington. Bavilier will bank it off the boards and down low into the Canadian zone. As Leonard takes out Carrier into the corner. On the right side now, picked up again then by Dowd. Dowd down low. Alexiev in front. And a save by Dobish as they poke check for that puck and can't get it through. 9:33 left here in the second period. It's still 2-0 after a couple of power plays, but nothing goes through. Caps still lead here in Game 5. That being said, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. In between commercials here, I will be right back. I shall return as this loads real quick to refresh it. All right, there we go. I'll be right back.
The new star of the season. Book your vacation today.
We've been creating it for more than 100 years, putting the most advanced technology into people's hands, generation after generation, tool after tool, again and again, bringing you the most reliable network of authorized sales and service dealers, always moving forward. We lead, others follow. When I started Walton Goggins last, I needed a website. And GoDaddy Hero uses AI to make a beautiful website so fast it'll blow my customers' noggins while they're shopping for goggles for their noggins.
All right. I have returned. We'll need to Wi-Fi need to play more. Jack Guy? I don't know. He hasn't really been very noticeable out there, at least in my opinion.
Back here in DC with Caps coach Spencer Carberry. First game back for Alexis Protas. What are you seeing so far?
Yeah, I think he's looked real good. You can tell his pace is there. Skating looks good. He draws a penalty there, driving the net. His wall play's been good.
All right.
How close to like the typical or best version of Alexis Protas would you look like in?
Honestly, he looks pretty close. Like, you usually notice if he's moving a little bit different, but he's got a lot of jump tonight.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. We'll try and keep Protas' minutes pretty manageable as he gets back in. Sometimes it takes a couple of shifts, sometimes a couple of weeks for players to feel it.
Face-off coming here now inside of the Washington zone. It's Evans here versus Mangiapane as they throw Eller out. Capitals with a 2-0 lead here through the midway mark of this game. Leonard throws it up to the point. It's shot then down low. Battling forward is Heineman with Van Riemsdyk. Kept in there by Washington. Down low now, Matheson banks it around the boards. Back then for Armia. Armia regroups around, sends it for Matheson down low. Back over then for Heineman. Heineman racing it down the other way. Gets tied up there by Eller, and here comes Washington. Leonard down the right side. Ryan Leonard moves in, and he can't get a shot off. And will that be a penalty? I'm not sure. And they're not going to get one. And you hear some boos there from the crowd as Leonard was knocked down in front. I'm not sure if he was tripped or he just fell on his own feet. Here's Van Riemsdyk through the zone. That pass is tipped by Mangiapane. He almost kills somebody on the bench. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me see this play again. Oh yeah, that should be a trip. But, you know, can't call anything. Thought YouTube is banned in Russia. I don't know. I mean, there's ways that you can get around that stuff, I guess. Maybe not everything. Maybe my streams aren't banned. But I thought so too, actually, now that you think about it. I didn't even think about that. Face-off coming here now at center ice. Dowd versus Dvorak. It's won by Dvorak on the right side and intercepted quickly by Washington. Dowd into the zone. Protas. A pass over, deflected there by Hudson. And here they come the other way. It's a 4-on-3. Gallagher feeds it in front, and it ends up being an offsides there against Montreal. Game 6 of Kings and Oilers tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. The Oilers will have a chance to beat the LA Kings for the 4th year in a row and advance to the second round once again, where they will take on one of Vegas or Minnesota. I think Game 6 of that is also tomorrow. So by tomorrow, we might have the first round done. Or sorry, by Friday, we might have the first round completely done if there's no Game 7s. But there always is at least one. And it'd be unfortunate if there wasn't any in the first round, that's for sure. Puck is cleared all the way down the other way. Taking it now is Anderson. Anderson skates it around behind the net. Shoots it off of Thompson's head. And down low in the corner. Back up then for the right side. Protas sends it through the zone now. Sandin waits. Sends it back down low behind the net. Picked up then by Carrier. Carrier through the zone to Anderson, who will backhand it down low. And Chychrun gets it back for Beauvillier, who banks it off the boards the other way. Hudson keeps it in the zone. Gooley dumps it down behind the net. Strome to Roy. Roy trying to clear it out. Pass over then for Newhook, who will take it back down low into the zone. And around the right side yet again. Thrown in front and goes off of the official. And cleared out anyway there by Washington. Picked up again then by Newhook to Demidov, who backhands it down low. Demidov gets it behind the net then. Chychrun will play it over for Roy. And back to Duhaime, and the Caps will get out of the zone. Strome playing it forward. He gets hit off the puck there, and Montreal takes it back easily. Dumped into the zone by Kapanen. Montreal's first line gets out there on the ice. Chychrun then plays it back to Roy, and they'll regroup. Time winding down now inside of this second period. Carrier through the zone on the right side. Shoots it. Saved by Thompson. Back down low. Chychrun then for Mangiapane. Through the zone now to Strome, who banks it down low. Stolen back then by Montreal and cleared in. Thompson shoots it around then for Chychrun on the right side. It's played all the way down and into the Montreal zone and an icing there against Washington. Montreal with a couple of chances here through these last few minutes. Still counting down to the second period in the Battle of Florida. We'll follow that one closely too as this one comes to a close. We'll also be live tonight for Jets versus Blues. And Canadiens definitely need a goal here and soon. At the point, Hudson. Down low then for Caulfield, who loses it through his skates. Back now behind the net for Dubois. Dubois to McMichael. Kept in by Hudson, a shot. And blocked in front there by the Caps. Here they come the other way. Dubois into the zone. Sends a pass over. McMichael, a shot. A quick save by Jakob Doge. Dubois to the point. Carlson will bank that off the boards and keep it in. McMichael down low in the corner. Looks for options. Trying to send it up to the front. And stolen back quickly by Montreal. 3-on-3. Hudson drops it back. Caulfield to Slavkovsky, and he can't get it to him in time. Shot there from the right side. Banks off of somebody and out of play. 5:51 here left in the second period. Getting ready for Blues versus Jets Game 5 in what might be the most pivotal game of that series after tonight's results. We will also be live for Game 6 of that as well. So we could be live for the series determining factor in that game. So be sure to stay tuned for that. That'll be a lot of fun. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate if you are new to the channel here today. Please do consider subscribing. We got a great community here. We do all kinds of hockey content, including season reviews. We've got one coming out tomorrow, hopefully, knock on wood. And we do these playoff streams every single week. Usually 2 times a day for 2 days, and then we take a day off, and then we do it again. I expect, though, in the third round, when there's just one game, all right. Face-off coming here now inside of the Washington zone. Dobish has made 15 straight saves since allowing the 2 goals. He's been pretty good here, even though he's allowed 2 on 19, which is still not that bad, to be honest. Montreal needs a goal here, though, and they need it like now. Savard at the point. Matheson, a shot, and quickly blocked there. Down low, Dvorak. Behind the net now, Gallagher to the point. Savard over then Matheson. Back to Savard. Savard banks it back down low. Dowd with it. Behind the net, Van Riemsdyk tries playing it down low in front. Back then for Dowd, who moves it through the zone. He'll send it out to center ice. Matheson banks it off the boards and cleared all the way down low. Savard. Over then for Matheson. On the right side, it's banked all the way down low into the Washington zone. Anderson to Dvorak, a shot, and it goes out of play. 5:10 left here in the second period. So if tonight Washington beats Montreal, they will face Carolina. I would expect a first round preview from me on probably Friday is when I would expect that series preview to drop. Maybe even tomorrow if I can have time. But I know if Montreal gets knocked out tonight and then Tampa gets knocked out tonight, I'll have a lot of videos to make here. So it might be not until it's Friday that I get that video out. But still be prepared. That's coming up soon. On the right side now, Capitals will regroup in their own end. With the puck, it's dumped back down low. It's Dobish with it. Gives it over then for Hudson behind the net. Lane Hudson through the zone. On the right side, he'll clear it in, and it goes down low to the corner. Chychrun battling with the puck now to Beauvillier. Beauvillier through the zone then for Eller. Intercepted quickly and taken back then by the Canadiens and dumped back down low. On the right side, Chychrun. Banked off down low, Beauvillier on the right side. Over for Wilson. Wilson feeds a pass up. It's quickly intercepted there by Montreal and dumped down the other way by Washington right away. Puck goes up in the air and out of play, and they'll blow the whistle on that one. Oh, I forgot about that. 50th anniversary for Washington. It's a very successful season there, too. And obviously they are here in the playoffs for the second straight year. 10th time in the last 11 years as well. Which is kind of wild. Like, they've been that consistent for that long. And it looks like they might be even more consistent for longer moving on. So just cool stuff there, obviously. All right. Time winding down here in the second period. Face-off will come in the Washington zone. Or my apologies, the Montreal zone. Face-off. Evans versus Leonard. And it's won by the Canadiens. Down low, Carrier sends a pass up, kept in though by Strome on the right side. In front, Ovechkin. Can't get a shot off. Battling now is Newhook on the right side. Down low, Ovechkin. Gives it around then for Strome. Along the right side, Demidov steals it back then for Montreal and will regroup. Newhook. Over for Carrier. They'll get it out of the zone. A pass up then to Evans is missed, and an icing coming up against the Canadiens. And Florida takes a 3-2 lead in Game 5 in the second period. It's to the point Forsling tipped in front by, I think, Lundell, or maybe it wasn't tipped. I'm not sure. Face off now here on the right side. Intercepted in front by Washington. Up to the point. Roy, a shot, and it goes wide. And picked up then by the Caps. Leonard down low. Intercepted there quickly. And we get a whistle here and a delayed penalty call against Montreal. And Washington, for the third or fourth time tonight, will go to the power play. Third, I'm pretty sure. And Montreal 71, 2-minute minor holding, so Evans will go to the box. St. Louis, not particularly a fan of that. And a power play coming up now for Washington. They can possibly close this out if they get a goal here. Again, if you're Montreal, you need to find a way to beat Thompson. You need to find a way to get down the other end of the zone and get a chance there on him. Maybe a 1-on-0 breakaway. But I really don't know. It'll be that first line of Ovechkin, Strome, Wilson, Chychrun, and Carlson. Face off. Won by Strome. You know what's crazy is Chychrun plays forward on the power play, which is just kind of wild. Ovechkin up at the point. Down low then, Strome. Chychrun's in front of the net. Pass in front, Carlson! And a save by Dope. Rebound in front. And slides out. Ovechkin! He scores! Tom Wilson! In front, and it's 3-0 Washington. Tom Wilson on the power play. And the Capitals lead 3-0 here in Game 5. 3:01 left in the second period. They are just a period and a little more away from the second round. And that might be the dagger there for Montreal. Puck is dumped down low into the Montreal zone and icing quickly there against Washington. And I don't know about you guys, that might be the dagger there for Montreal this season. Yeah, that probably is game. I don't think Montreal's coming back from this. This is over, more or less, to be honest. Face off here now, won by the Caps. Racing down the other way. It's regrouping at the zone. It's dumped in then by Duhaime. Duhaime now in the corner. It's 3-2 Florida with about 14 minutes left in the second. Hudson trying to race it down the other way. It's kept in, though, and stolen by Washington. The fourth line, Duhaime to Dowd. Over to Protas, who can't link up with that puck. Just sends it up to the point. Roy banks it back down low now behind the net. Battling for it on the right side. Duhaime with Hudson. It's quickly picked up then by the Caps down low in the corner. And that one's cleared down the other way, and here comes Montreal the other way. Now here at center ice, the Canadiens will send it into the Washington zone. They'll regroup in their own end. Chychrun feeds a pass back then for Wilson. Stolen back then by Matheson on the right side. Sent back behind the net. Down low, Slavkovsky. Stolen back by Dubois. To McMichael in front. Blocked there by Matheson. Carlson sends it back down low. McMichael again. Loses the puck. Anderson poke checks it ahead. And the Caps steal that one pretty quickly and just dump it down low. Back in the corner, Wilson. In front, Dubois. Poke checked away by Matheson. Carrier sends it up to the neutral zone. Picked up then by Suzuki. Suzuki shoots it. Glove save by Logan Thompson. If Montreal wants any chance whatsoever to possibly come back in this game, they need a goal here in the last minute 19 to make it 3-1 heading into the third. And then maybe you can make something happen. But if they can't do that, I am really not a fan of their chances, if I'm being blunt with you. Face off now, won by the Caps. Carlson. Cleared all the way down the other way. Devilliers racing forward. It's picked up then and cleared to center ice. And the Habs will attempt to rush it, and they can't control the puck. This is brutal. Dowd into the zone. Waits in front, then Devilliers will circle it back around down low up to the point. A shot! And blocked in front there quickly by Montreal. Racing the other way then is Suzuki. Cleared around the right side. Chychrun picks it up. Through the neutral zone as Habs or Capitals will get it and clear it into the zone. Devilliers tries banking it around down low on the right side. Suzuki for Xhekaj. Last minute of play now in the second period. 30 seconds left as time continues to run down. Puck is cleared into the Capitals zone on the right side. Sandin regrouping now. Stolen back then by Armia. Banked off the boards for Caulfield. Caulfield moves in. Looks for options. Feeds it up to Hudson. Hudson circles around and holds it. Waits. Fires it. Blocked in front. And it's a race for it now. Ovechkin with Hudson. And Hudson just gets there anyways. And we'll wind down the clock. And 3, 2, and 1. And that'll do it there for the second period. 40 minutes in the books. It's 3-0 Washington. And they are just one period away from the second round. That being said, it is time for the first intermission. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We'll be back for the third period here and possibly the final period of Montreal's season. We're going to need a remarkable comeback here for this to go back into fruition, but it's really not looking like it, folks. I think we're done here tonight. Which is really unfortunate because Montreal had a very good season, and I think that's a major positive you can take out of this. Look, nobody expected them to be here. Even some Habs fans didn't think they'd be a playoff team this year. And this team, led by a young core of Suzuki, Caulfield, Slavkovsky. You got Lane Hudson on the back end. You had a very good tandem this year in Montembeault and Dobish. You had Demidov come in late in the year and help boost your playoff push in. You had guys like Matheson and a few other depth players like Gallagher had a really good year at the end of the season. You know, Anderson kind of rejuvenated himself. You also had guys like Carrier come in midway through the season and play phenomenal. And they made it into the playoffs in a season where I don't think anybody had them making it. I'm going to be blunt. I know like Habs fans will say, oh, I had them in the playoffs. I don't think anybody else outside of Canadiens fans had them making the playoffs. Just because we knew they were going to be good in a couple of years, but we didn't think they would be ready now. And here they are, playing one of the best teams in the National Hockey League this year. And yes, they're losing, but they're not getting absolutely destroyed. They're still staying in the games and keeping them close. Again, like on game 2, it was 3-1, but the one goal was an empty net goal. They won game 3. Game 4 was tied until the last 2 minutes. Game 1 went to overtime as Montreal came back. So there's a lot of positives to take away from this season for the Canadiens, even though they lost in 5 games. There would be some teams right now that would kill to be in where Montreal is right now. They have the most draft picks heading into this year's draft. Nobody is talking about that. And again, I know that maybe it's quality over quantity in terms of draft picks this year, but still, that's insane. Like, they And I've said this many times before this year, they are in one of the best positions in the league this season. They are in one of the best positions in the entire NHL right now. And they're going to get somebody here in the offseason, maybe even 2 first-round picks at this year's draft to help boost that young core even more. And maybe some free agency moves will put them ahead even more. And who knows? I mean, the Atlantic next year is going to be competitive, but if they can have a season like they had just this year, who knows? You just don't know, though. The Atlantic is so competitive. There are at least 6 or 7 teams that can make the playoffs. It's not impossible, but again, I really don't know. But Montreal right now is in an incredible position. I think that even though they're probably going to lose this game and be knocked out tonight, I think there's a lot of positive to take away. Yes, the young core is very key. And I think, again, this is like the first year of this team being in the playoffs since that 21 Cup final run. And I think that it's a major positive to pull away because for many years beforehand, like the 2021 Cup run and the bubble year, kind of take away the fact Montreal really didn't make the playoffs a lot beforehand. And just seeing them back in and looking like a really bright team in the future, you got to be happy for that for sure. So I'll start my little rant there. I got to make this other clip that I didn't get to make in the last period, so I'll do that real quick. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate my little spiel there. If you are new, please do consider subscribing. I appreciate it. And yes, it is 3-2 Flower. What's up, Daniel?
Welcome back to the Discover Second Intermission Report. Series-changing hits, series-changing players. Tom Wilson is so impactful based on basically being a tight end on the ice. In football, American football terms, he definitely swings the plate. He's based on his size, his intensity, and his skill.
Just watching the hockey game. That's fair enough.
No doubt. So again, it's 2-0. That next goal's a big one. If Montreal can get one, it's 2-1. But now it's Tom Wilson in the middle of the ice. Can skate, fly on the inside, short on the interior, pass, make plays. Listen, there's a reason why Ovi loves playing with him. And that's the ultimate.
Shoots it and it goes wide.
Tom Wilson definitely shifts the balance.
Shoots it and it goes wide. Back now behind the net, Wilson for Eller. Eller waits in front. Chychrun, he scores! Jacob Chychrun on the backdoor feed. It's 2-0 Caps. And that's good on Chychrun there for reading the play, noticing nobody's there in front. And right there, a pass from, I think that was Dubois. I'm not 100% sure. My memory is... No, I was probably... My memory is... I'm not 100% sure. Oh, great.
When you get that moving around out of position, it's hard as a PK.
You've been on this team a really long time. You're a part of the cup-winning team. Are there any similarities you see from 2018 group?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of dynamic players. I think we got a lot of guys that are playing different roles that can step up, that can do different things, and I think you've seen that throughout this season so far. And that's what we've relied upon is that all year long. And we got to keep going.
Or are those guys as your D partner, Jacob?
Ba-da,
Guys?
ba-da, 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 ba-da.
He can break a game open at any time.
Shoots it and it goes wide. Back now behind the net, Wilson for Eller. Eller waits in front. Chychrun, he scores! Jacob Chychrun on the backdoor feed. It's 2-0 Caps. And that's good on Chychrun there for reading the play, noticing nobody's there in front. And right there, a pass from, I think that was Dubois. I'm not 100% sure. Shoots it and it goes wide. Back now behind the net, Wilson for Eller. Eller waits in front. Chychrun, he scores! Jacob Chychrun on the backdoor feed. It's 2-0 Caps. And that's good on Chychrun there for reading the play, noticing nobody's there in front. And right there, a pass from, I think that was Dubois.
Take Discover. It's just like there's 99% of plays today. 99%? I didn't know that. It's fucking fast, baby. You're the one who owns 13 pairs of parachute pants? Well, have him stick with those. They'll be back. Right? Hopefully.
Discovery is accepted at 99% of places nationwide. Earn cash back at all times. Dad, I'm a genius. I figured out how to make those penguins fly. That's going to be tricky without wings. Exactly. That's why I've got Red Bull. It gives you wings. All we have to do is drink it. Come on, Dad, just drink it. 40 degrees below. Do you think we're standing here for fun?
Well, that stream goal's met for the night. Perfect.
Huge news. You can get a son for just $30. Wait, I said son of. Look at the word. Son of Baconator is $30. YouTube. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's. Plain.
Thank you all for tuning in. Yeah, I was replaying the part. Good night, Bond. Thank you for tuning in. Oh my god. Done the fucking for me. Yeah, sorry. I was just editing this real quick.
Looking for a reason to try the $5 meal deal with new McDonald's. Here's 1, 2, 3. But more than you expect, the $5 meal deal with new McDonald's. To get to the Stanley Cup playoffs, you've got a chance.
And looks like the Lightning just tied it at 3.
Season, I'm a male handling month. Now I have relaxed fit hands-free Skechers slippers. No bending down, no touching. They're kind of low, not using my hands. Come on, Abby. I'm out the game. Try relaxed fit Skechers slippers. All it does, take. And sooner or later, it takes you over.
Perfect. That's all done. What's up, Mr. Cheese? It's intermission right now. Oh, did I not put my clock on? No, my clock's on. What team am I hoping wins? I wouldn't mind seeing Montreal win just to, you know, make the series longer, but that doesn't look like it's gonna happen. I think we're done tonight. I think tonight's the last game of this series. Yeah, I like to create shorts just to post them. Sometimes people see them. It's cool. Sorry, I can smell myself and I don't like it. How about the Oilers Kings series? Insane and by far the most fun. I agree. Yeah. Definitely. I really have like LA really pisses me off because we streamed games 2 and 3 of that series on the channel. And we saw LA go up 2-0. That play from Jim Hiller, that goalie challenge, I think that changed the entire series because ever since then, it's been all Oilers. And it's been very entertaining. Just like the Kings will go up, the Oilers tied it late in Game 4. They won it in overtime. It's just been pretty phenomenal hockey, and I've really enjoyed it throughout, you know, during these couple of days. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Game 6 is tomorrow. Because I think that could really go I wanted to go 7 badly, just so my prediction's right, but I did have Oilers, so I wouldn't be too angry if it does go Oilers in 6, but I don't know. It feels like the Kings, like, ever since Game 2, they, like, kind of turned off a switch, and the Oilers have just ran things the rest of the way through. So, I don't know. I don't know. Why is that? Why is it lagging like that? Who's my team? I am primarily a Flyers fan, but as you can probably tell, I root for a lot of other teams and just generally love the game of hockey. Tied 3-3. 8 minutes left in that second period. All right, getting ready for the third period here soon. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. We will be back for the start of the third period momentarily. Just updating some things here real quick on the board. All right, I got about... Ooh. My clock is like 10 seconds behind. Or ahead. That's close enough for me. How do I feel about the Jets and Blues going into Game 5? With the way the series has been going, I have a feeling that the Jets should win, with the home team winning every single game in this series. But I don't know. Hellebuck's really got to lock in. Hellebuck has got to lock in. And that's the number one thing. If Hellebuck is not locked in, this game's going to go in St. Louis's favor, and it'll be over in 6, in my opinion. But if Hellebuck can lock in and play good, and they can go back to St. Louis up 3-2, who knows? Maybe it's a different series. But I'm a little bit scared in particular of, are they going to be able to hold on to it? But I don't know. It's a very pivotal game for the Jets. All right, I got about a minute left here until start of the third. Thank you all again for tuning in. Possibly the last Montreal stream of the season. And we will not see them again in a stream until next year. All right, here we go. Start of the third period. live from Capital One Arena. Second period recap. Only goal that was scored was from Tom Wilson, as Montreal is down 3-0 here in possibly their last game of the season. And let's see what can happen here now in this third period. I'm pumped. Let's get this going here momentarily.
You're watching the Stanley Cup playoffs on ESPN, presented by Geico. Capital One Arena alive. The Capitals lead 3-0 after 2 periods. The win.
Now, remember, in Game 1, Montreal did come back from a 2-0 deficit. So, it's not impossible, but with the way this game is going, it's not particularly likely either. Shots are 20-15 after 40 minutes of play. Let's see what goes on now in the latter half of this third period. Battle of Florida update, 4:47 left here in the second period. It's 4-3 Panthers here heading into the end of that one, as the Canadiens playing in their last period possibly of their season. They're going to need a win here to force a Game 6 in Montreal. Can they do it? I guess we'll find out. Face-off coming now from center ice. Dvorak versus Dowd. And the face-off and the third period is underway. Face-off won by the Canadiens. Played back now, Carrier holds the puck through the neutral zone. It's cleared back into the Washington end. Anderson sends it behind the net, then to Gallagher. Gallagher dekes around down low behind the net. Looking for options. Fed off then quickly by Washington. Picked up then by Duhaime. And cleared through the zone. Carrier to Anderson on the right side. They lose control of that puck battle here now on the right side. And a whistle there as the puck is practically on the line. It'll be an offsides against Montreal.
Yes, don't take penalties, but it's also just discipline and staying with their game. They know that they're playing a team with the season on the line, but there's going to be an element of risk in the Canadiens game. They're going to be pressing. They're asking their guys to be aware when you have the puck, when you don't have the puck. Don't let them get behind you. And it sounds like they want mental discipline as well.
Face off. Won by the Caps. Sandin will pick it up now and regroup. Through the right side, it's cleared down low into the Montreal zone. Back on the right side, Ovechkin to Strome in front. A shot goes there and out of play.
Strome shot got deflected out of the ring. When we're finished here, it's on to Winnipeg for Game 5. The Blues and the Jets. That series tied at 2. The home teams won every game.
And Game 5 of that series of Blues and Jets tonight. Game 6 of Toronto, Ottawa, Vegas, Minnesota, and Dallas, Colorado tomorrow as well. So plenty more action coming to the NHL playoffs here. No streams tomorrow, unfortunately. We will be live on Friday for Game 6. And I'm not sure when we'll be live next after that. I do have Game 7 streams planned, but we don't know if there's going to be Game 7s for some of these series. You just have to see. On the right side, Suzuki. Back through the zone, intercepted quickly there by Montreal. Demidov, poke checked away then by Strome. Ovechkin, a slap shot! And that one goes up in the air and back out to center ice. Chychrun, regrouping now for the Caps. He'll bank it off the boards to the right side. It goes through Wilson's feet and back down low. Caulfield to Carrier. Carrier through the neutral zone, clears it back down low. Washington will take it back and regroup. It's Chychrun. Throws it up to Dubois. Dubois through center ice to McMichael. McMichael with some room into the zone, and it's an offsides against Washington as Tom Wilson picking a fight there with Arbor Jacki. Maybe the other way around, actually. It's probably the other way around, let's be honest. Well, actually, it could be. It could be both ways. It's probably is both ways.
The all-time leading goal scorers, Ovechkin, in regular season play with his .897.
Face-off now coming outside the Montreal end. It's won by the Caps. Chychrun through the zone. Dumps it in down low. Carrier with the puck. Banks it around for Slavkovsky. Through the zone now it's Evans. Pass up then for Caulfield as it slides all the way back down low and behind the net. Carlson sends a pass up in front, taken back then by Montreal. Wilson gets it then and regroups. All the way down the other way, it's McMichael. McMichael moves it in front, behind the net, and will wait for options. McMichael drops it off the boards, throws a pass up to the point. Van Riemsdyk a shot, and blocked in front down low to the corner. McMichael back with it now on the right side. Picked up then by the Canadiens. Through the zone is Carrier to Caulfield. Caulfield shoots it, and it's blocked in front. It goes back out to center ice, and Montreal will throw it back and regroup. Canadiens are playing very defensive-minded here through these last couple of minutes. Puck is cleared down low into the Capital zone. Alexiev along the right side. Armia shot. He bounces off of Demidov and in. Emil Heineman, not Demidov, my apologies. And Montreal is within 2. I thought it was Demidov in front. I should have realized that it was their third line out there on the ice. But the Canadiens are on the board. They're down by 2 here now with about 15 minutes left, I'm pretty sure. Sorry, just trying to plug in my computer over here. Perfect. All right, that's all done. And Montreal is now within 2. And that might have bounced off of Van Riemsdyk, actually. So that might be Joel Armia's goal. Not 100% sure. I can't really tell. And with about 17 minutes left, Montreal is 2 goals away. Here come the Caps the other way. Eller to Mangiapane. Shoots it, and a glove save by Dobish. Yes, I agree. Very doable. So, I don't know. Let's see if they can get it done, possibly. They need 2 more. I wonder if they'll try and pull the goalie here. Maybe if you can get lucky and draw a penalty, you can possibly go on the power play and put that PP to work. But it's not impossible. This game is not over yet. Don't count him out. That's Heineman's first career playoff goal and point of his NHL career. His very short NHL career at that, if we're being honest. Face-off now won by Montreal. Matheson takes it around behind the net. Sending it down the other way. Anderson will race for it to Gallagher. Gallagher moves it in, fires it, blocked by Sandin in front. Carrier shoots it, and it goes wide. Down low on the right side, Sandin picks it up. Back then through the zone is Duhaime, who clears it down low. Banking it off the boards now and into the corner. Fighting on the right side, played up in front then for Protas. Protas throws it up to the point. Roy a shot, and it deflects wide. Down low now, Gallagher. Back then for Carrier. Carrier to the right side. Chychrun tries keeping it in. It slides out. And the Capitals will then regroup. Dowd. Over to Chychrun. Through the zone. Dumped in then down low. Battling for it in the corner. Picked up then by Demidov. Demidov then for Newhook. Newhook speeds it back then for Hudson. Hudson skating it through the zone. Takes it in. Dekes around and shoots it just wide. It slides in then on Thompson. And cleared around the other way. Up to the point, Gooley. Over to Hudson. Hudson shoots it. And a glove save there by Logan Thompson. Beauvillier, the right side, will clear it down low into the zone. And regrouping again, Montreal as they need another goal here. They need 2 at that. Suzuki banks it down low into the zone. They really need a power play. That's what they really need. Around the right side then. It's picked up again then by the Caps. Wilson gets tied up there. Dubois gives it to Sandin. Sandin will take it back to kind of regroup a little bit here. Montreal has racked up the shots the last couple of minutes. As time continues to wind down here. Shots are 21-18 in favor of the Caps. Here's Strome. Into the zone. Looks for options. Sends it back down low for Carlson behind the net. Back to McMichael. McMichael tied up by Evans. He sends it up in front and taken back then by the Habs. 3-on-2 the other way. Evans into the zone, breaks it back, moves to the front to Slavkovsky. Tied up. Savard a shot, saved by Thompson. Back then on the right side up to the point. Savard over. Xhekaj a shot and a glove save by Logan Thompson. 14:41 left in the third period. Montreal is down by 2. They're racking up the shots here, however. And face-off coming here now. Face-off coming now here inside the Washington zone. Eller versus Dvorak. Gallagher to the point, a shot blocked in front and stolen back then by the Caps and banked off the boards down the other way. Protas racing for it now. Down low is Gooley battling with it. On the right side, Dvorak stolen back then by Duhaime, picked up by Gallagher. He sends Anderson. Poke checked away then quickly by Chychrun and cleared back into the zone. Hudson through the zone, sends a pass over then for Anderson. Anderson with some room. Down low, will look for options. Holds it up to the point. Hudson throws it over then. Gooley with it. Sends it back then behind the net to the right side. And Sandin played back over in front. Dvorak has control in front. It's in the crease. And Thompson with the save. And they blow the whistle on that one as Montreal can't tuck it through. And the Canadiens are getting some shots here on goal and some chances. And they did get one through. It's Emil Heineman. It's 3-1. Okay, well, that being said, I'm going to head to the bathroom real quick. Once again, I will be back before the start of, or before we continue the third period.
What you say? Get more with Geico.
Best day of training so far.
How's your elbow?
It's killing me.
Meet Patty, self-appointed social chair. But her capacity to care is unmatched. You need Patty. Patty needs a retirement plan. Work with Principal so we can help you with a plan that's right for Patty. Let our expertise round out yours.
All right, I've returned.
Hey, Mom. My mom said not to get her anything for Mother's Day.
Don't get her just anything.
She said not to get her anything. Oh, she did.
All right. All right. 3-1 Washington with 13:50 left. Face-off in the Capitals zone is won by the Capitals. Down low now, Newhook in front of Suzuki. Stolen back down on the right side. Played back then by Eller. They'll clear it all the way down the other way. Carrier regroups. Caps in the zone. Down a shot. And a save by Dobish. Down low now in the corner. Hudson breaks it free. Here they come the other way. Suzuki clears it down low into the zone. Back now on the right side. Carlson with the puck will clear it all the way out and get a neutral zone regroup. Matheson back now behind the net as Montreal will pick it up. And they'll hold it back behind their net, get some fresh legs out there, and look for a proper breakout. A pass to the neutral zone, completely intercepted, and here comes McMichael down the right side. He shoots it, And a save there by Dobish. 4-3. Tampa Bay, or 4-3 Florida heading into the third period of Game 5 of that series. I guess we'll see how that gets determined. But right now it's looking like Florida will move on to the second round tonight. Face-off coming here now inside of the Montreal end. Dubois versus Evans. Back down low. Goulet battling with Duhaime on the right side. Evans to Slavkovsky. Through the zone now. Matheson. Matheson down the right side. Shoots it. Saved there by Thompson. Puck is played back out. Goulet regroups. Over then it's dumped into the zone by Evans. And that puck goes up and out of play in the Capitals zone. By the way, I've said it many times before. I'll say it once again. We will be live for Jets versus Blues at 9:30. It's possible, though, that game will go, or this game could go longer than that, and we'll be live for that maybe right at the beginning or something like that. But regardless, shots were 22 apiece. We're dead even in terms of the shooting department, so shows how even this game's been here in the third period. Montreal has been very good in terms of taking over these games in the third period, so I wouldn't be shocked as Jack-Eye hits Leonard there. Stolen back then by the Caps, and Leonard doesn't look like he's doing too hot. Down low now on the right side. Mangiapane battling with Armia. Back to Eller. Through the zone. 2-on-2 the other way. Alexiev holds it. Back down low. Thrown around then by Eller up to the point. Mangiapane shoots it, and it goes wide. Here come the Habs now the other way. On the right side. Down low, Kapanen battling in the corner of Mangiapane. Thrown back to the right side. Leonard picks it up. Leonard through center ice will clear it and then get off the ice. No problem, banking on money. The next round opponent for the Capitals will be the Carolina Hurricanes. So that's who they will face off with here if they win tonight. Down low, Chychrun. Banked off the boards then. It's stolen back by Montreal. They'll come out of the zone and regroup. If Washington can cap it off tonight, this will be their first win in the playoffs. That being a series win since the 2018 Cup final run. Face off, a shot in front, deflected in the crease, and Thompson clears it out. Hudson back now on the right side. Skating it around, he's got Bavilli with him. Throws it in front, deflected, and into the corner. Time winding down, 11 minutes left. Hudson with the puck. They can't keep it in. It's banked off the boards now down the other way. And will that be an icing? No, it will not. Goulet to Carrier. Carrier through the zone. Evans moves it in. Dekes around and skates it back up to the point. Carrier. Up then for Matheson. Matheson shoots it. Saved by Thompson. Caps will get it back. Protas on the right side. Battling now in the corner now. Down low for Dowd. Dowd will shoot it and kept in by Montreal on the right side. Sandin battling down low. Slavkovsky. Played around them by Dowd up for Roy, who will get it out of the zone. And here comes Washington. Protas to Dowd. Dowd circles around. Throws it back down low for Protas, who waits and gets tied up back behind the net. Picked up again then by Montreal. Evans then over for Carrier. Back now on the right side. As time continues to wind down here, halfway through the period, Montreal needs 2. Through the zone, Suzuki sent back down low. Newhook battling for it here with multiple Caps in front of him. It's intercepted there by Washington. And Wilson will carry it out and feed a pass over then for Duhaime, who will just dump it down low. Puck back down low into the Capital zone. Demidov on the right side. Poke checked away, and they'll have to come back out of the zone and regroup. Still a lot of time here for Montreal to make a miracle comeback, but as time winds down, it's getting slimmer and slimmer. Newhook banks it down low for Roy. Back for Eller on the right side. Mangiapane sends a pass over then for Leonard. Leonard through the zone. Holds the puck, and it's an offsides anyways. Against Washington as Arbor Xhekaj getting some things going. And Jets versus Blues.
Own a design studio. Win a really big design contract. Realize you know the creative part for the project. Realize you got this. Use QuickBooks to get your cash flow flowing. Get live expert assistance to maximize your tax savings. Get back to doing what you love. Manage and grow your business all in one place. Intuit QuickBooks. Your way to money.
Liberty Mutual is all she talks about since she saves hundreds by bundling our home and auto insurance.
Hey, kid. It's pronounced Liberty. 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 No, she's mocking. It's very mature.
Hey, that's the nephew too.
Hey, I'm not the one acting like a total baby.
She's too.
Only pay for what you need.
All right, still in commercial break here. Thank you all for tuning in once again. I appreciate it. Pulling for the Blues in that series. Yeah, I've seen a lot of Blues. People rooting for St. Louis. I guess we'll have to see, though. There's still a lot of time left in it. But it sure does look like that's the favorite right now. So face-off coming here now inside of the... or outside of the Montreal zone. Canadiens need 2. Capitals are just a little bit under 9 minutes away from advancing to the second round. As there have been 2 teams that have forced a game 6, and there have been 1 team that has clinched their series. So let's see if after tonight Washington will join them. Puck drop for Jets versus Blues at 9:52 Eastern time, so we might be done before then. We might not be. We'll actually find out. And we just got a confirmation that Gabriel Velarde is returning to the lineup for Winnipeg tonight. It's 3-1 Washington. Shots are 25-22 in favor of Montreal. Carrier on the right side, banked off Dvorak and down into the zone. Played back in the corner. Up to the point, Carrier. Matheson shoots it and blocked in front there by the Caps. Here they come the other way. Strome with Ovechkin. 2-on-1 to seal the game. Ovechkin in front, saved by Doves. Back down low now, Matheson with the puck. As Montreal continues to control it. Carrier through the zone. Dumps it in down low. Back then, Wilson to Roy. Back for Sandin now as they battle in the corner. Dubois down the right side. Banks it off the boards now down low. Picked up by Wilson. Wilson back behind the net for Dubois. Dubois holds the puck. Battling with Hudson. He gets taken down, and are they going to call that? No, they will not. Chikrin into the zone. Dubois gets tied up there by Goulet. Back here on the right side. At the point, cleared down low. Montreal gets it back. They'll rush it the other way. Evans sends it over then for Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky back to Evans. Evans in the zone in front! And Caulfield can't finish. Oh, man, that would have been huge. Back now down low. It's cleared around by Chikrin. At the zone now, Wilson to Dowd. Dowd breaks it in down the right side. He backhands it. And a glove save there by Dobish. And shots are 25 apiece with 7:19 left in the third. Face-off coming here now inside of the Montreal zone. Caps are just a couple of minutes away from the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Sandina shot, and a glove save by Dobish once again. As the puck was tipped in front by the Washington fourth line. Face off here, Carrier sends a pass to the neutral zone. Battling here now in the defensive zone. It's offsides against Montreal. It's cleared down the other way then for the Caps and icing against them. So this is huge here now. You got 7 minutes left. You're down 3-1. You haven't had a whole lot of chances here, a whole lot of grade A chances these last couple of minutes. They're showing off Logan Thompson, who has been insane and great through this series and through these playoffs and in tonight's game. Keep an eye out for Dobish, who might go to the net here, or go to the bench here soon. Maybe not for a few more minutes, but you're on the brink of getting eliminated here. You need to try something. Dowd now versus Suzuki. If they can get a goal here real quick, who knows? One up at the point. Hudson to Demidov. Demidov shoots it. Blocked there by Van Riemsdyk. Kept in, though, by the Canadiens. On the right side, Van Riemsdyk. Puck is cleared up. Then Hudson keeps it in. Stolen back then by Washington. Van Riemsdyk breaks it out then to center ice. And cleared down the other way. Held in the zone then as Montreal will regroup. Goulet to Hudson. Through the zone on the right side. Puck at the point then. Goulet over Suzuki. A shot deflected just wide of the net. Up to the point. Goulet. Over to Hudson. Hudson shoots it. And deflected back down low into the corner. Suzuki up to the point. To Hudson. A shot. And that one is blocked there in front by Washington. Ovechkin takes it now and breaks it down the other way. Pavillier racing forward there with Goulet. Montreal gets control right back. Banked off the boards now and cleared down low by Armia. Intercepted quickly by Washington. Wilson feeds a pass up then for Pavillier, who will just dump it in. Less than 6 to go now. Matheson to Carrier. Carrier down the right side. Banks it down low. Gallagher battling here with Eller. Trevor Van Riemsdyk on the right side and cleared all the way down into the neutral zone. Still regrouping with it here on the right side. Played back down low. Dvorak tried sending it up to the point. Back then, McMichael regroups. Through the zone, Gallagher sends a pass to Anderson, and that is very clearly offsides with 5:18 left in the third period. And the Habs are running out of time here to possibly tie this game up. I got to sharpen my pencil here real quick, so it might make some noise. Apologize. Oops, wrong one. And by the way, one more reminder before we get into these last couple of minutes of this game. We will be streaming Game 5 of Blues versus Jets right after this, so be sure to stick around for that coming up here after this one. Here in about probably 10 minutes. Good enough. Who's my team in the playoffs? I'm pulling for, I mean, like, I'm rooting for a lot of different teams. I'm being blunt. I don't really have a team that I'm, like, specifically rooting for. I would like to see Winnipeg go far, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen, unfortunately, but I guess we'll see. I don't know. Again, like, my team's not in the playoffs, so I'm not really, like, pulling for any specific team. All right, here we go. Let's play these final couple minutes here in the third period. Face off here outside the Washington zone. 5 minutes away here now from the second round is the Caps. It's cleared back down low into the Montreal zone. Dobish now behind the net to Hudson. Plays it up forward, intercepted by the Caps in front, directed now the other way. Caulfield through the zone, can't keep it. McMichael will get it back in. Slid over then for Wilson to McMichael. Intercepted quickly, and here come the Habs. Caps have 4 players back. Dumped down low into the zone. Shot all the way down the other way again by the Caps. No icing. And you better watch Dobish as he's trying to. We'll see if he goes to the net. Hudson to Matheson. Banked off now down low into the Capitals' end. Sandin back behind the net. Played around to the right side. Caps will clear it back in. Down low, Dobish to Dowd in front. Nick Dowd. Down low in front, Duhaime, and he fans on the shot. Down low now in the corner battling for it. Shots are 26-25 in favor of Washington. Here come the Habs. Carrier through the zone. Suzuki with it. At the point. Shoots it. And it goes into the corner. Carrier throws it around now behind the net. On the right side now, Leonard will feed it up then through the zone, and Strome will take it the other way for the Caps. Strome dumps it in down low, gloved by Dobish. And they blow the whistle before Dobish can play it free. Here in this third period, 3:48 left. So less than 4 minutes to go in a make-or-break game for Montreal. Face-off, won by Montreal, kept in though by Washington on the right side. Canadiens had 10 comeback wins in the third period, which is tied most in the NHL, but none of them were more than 2 goals. Battling along here on the right side, kept in the zone by Dubois. Down low in the corner, he's tied up by Goulet. Dubois trying to play it up to the point. Shot down low the other way. It'll slide in on the Washington end. It'll be no icing. Van Riemsdyk with control now. We'll see when Montreal pulls the goalie, probably when they get neutral zone control. And long pass ahead the other way is offsides. And faceoff will come back in the Washington end. I think that might be where they pull him. Will they? No, they're going to keep him in. That's a little weird when you're down by 2 with 3 minutes left. Okay. I guess maybe you want to see how they do off the face-off first, but I don't know. That's a little bit questionable for me. And they are going to take him off. Never mind. So Dobish will go to the net or go to the bench. Oh, my God. And there's somebody wearing a banana behind Marty St. Louis. And face off now. Inside the Washington zone. These fans are standing up on their feet with 3 minutes left. Can their team get it done? Dvorak versus Eller. It's won by the Caps. Carlson banks it off the boards. Kept in by Montreal. Chychrun banks it off the boards. Over then for Protas, battling now on the right side. It's tied up in the corner. In the neutral zone. Puck played out in front. Wilson for the empty net. And it goes just wide. It'll go through the crease. Oh, man. And now down low then for Caulfield. Caulfield moves it through center ice. Slavkovsky to Suzuki. Over to Demidov now. Up to the point then for Hudson. Hudson to Demidov. To Hudson. Back down low. Caulfield. Over then for Demidov on the right side. Demidov up to Hudson. Hudson holds it. Down low for Caulfield. 2 minutes left. A shot. Deflected. Saved by Thompson. Rebound. And Thompson makes the save. Puck is still loose. Suzuki to Demidov. At the point, Hudson. Hudson shoots it. It goes wide. Down low now in the corner. Caulfield. Up to the point, Hudson. Hudson moves in. Suzuki waits. Back for Hudson. Up at the point. Less than 2 minutes. Demidov to Suzuki. Back to Demidov. Down low in front. Blocked by a cap. Demidov now on the right side. Playing it around. Suzuki in front. Glove save by Logan Thompson. On the redirect in front from Suzuki with 1:36 left. And they will call the timeout. You hear chants here for Thompson in Capital One Arena. Montreal trying, but they can't get one past the goaltender who had the second best save percentage in the NHL this season. And I just want to say one last time, thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thank you. If you guys are new here to the chat, please do consider subscribing. We got 2 more streams, or one more stream here tonight. Last Battle of Florida update before we head into the final 1:36. It's 4-3 Tampa Bay with 17:18 left here in this third period of that game. Tampa Bay looking to force a Game 6 back in Florida. Face off. Whew. Canadians with 5 shot attempts in the last 37 seconds. 1:36. Montreal will pull their goaltender, get that unit back out there on the ice. This might be the most important face-off of this series. It'll be Suzuki versus Nick Dowd. Face-off. Dowd versus Suzuki. And won by the Montreal Canadiens. Hudson at the point. Looking for options. Suzuki drops it back. Demidov a shot. And it goes wide. Stolen back then by the Caps. They'll clear it all the way down the other way. Demidov will pick it up just before the empty net. Damn near didn't get there in time. Slavkovsky back now on the right side. Throws it back to Suzuki. Kept in there by Montreal at the line. Down low Slavkovsky. Holds it. Throws it in front. Caulfield saved by Thompson. Kept in the zone. Suzuki to Caulfield. Last minute of play here in regulation. Gallagher in front. Deflect just wide. Slavkovsky in front. Stolen back by the Caps. Cleared around then by Carlson. Banks it off the boards. Wilson trying to go for the empty net. He gets tied up there by Gallagher. And taken back by Hudson. Demidov to Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky through the zone. Time winding down. 35 on the clock. Demidov to the point. Hudson to Caulfield. To Hudson. A shot. Blocked in front. Capitals will pick it up. And they send Duhaime, who will send the Caps to the second round. Brandon Duhaime on the empty net goal. And Washington has punched their ticket to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. With about 25 seconds left, it's 4-1 in favor of Washington here now in this third period. And that's the dagger right there for Montreal's season. Brandon Duhaime on the empty net goal. What a play there by McMichael to send Duhaime. And that did it. Face-off here now, won by the Canadiens. Savard back over down low. Puck is tipped as it slides into the Capitals' end. It'll be played out then for Thompson, who slides it around. Over to the right side then, Trevor Van Riemsdyk will clear that one out. Canadiens with their head down in 3 seconds, 2-1, and the Capitals are going to go to the second round for the first time since their Cup year back in 2018. They defeat the Montreal Canadiens in 5 games, and they will move on and play Carolina. Very unfortunate end to the year for Montreal, but the Caps, it's a really special story here in DC. And a tough one here tonight. David Savard, most notably on Montreal, just played the last game of his NHL career. And with some tears on his eyes. And, you know, again, I said it earlier. I'll say it again. Montreal had an incredible season. Nobody thought they were going to be at this point. And here they are tonight. The fact that they made it to this point is incredible. And I think that is something that we'll have to see how next season goes. But an incredible year for Montreal as they get knocked out here in 5 games. David Savard, give a round of applause for him. Had an incredible NHL career during his time in the league. Very unfortunate that he wasn't able to get back to another Stanley Cup. You know, Stanley Cup champion back in 2021 with that Tampa Bay Lightning team. He played about 870 games in the NHL, had 242 points. Again, a Stanley Cup champion back in 2021. A longtime NHLer for Columbus, the Bolts, and the Canadiens. And his run in the NHL comes to an end here tonight with this one coming to a close. Unfortunate end there to his career and an unfortunate end to Montreal's season, but an incredible year from Montreal and even Washington too there as a whole as well. And that'll do it. We will head off to Winnipeg for Game 5 of that series. Thank you all so much for tuning in. For the Canadiens fans in here, thank you so much for supporting me throughout the streams this year. And I'll see you guys next season. But that being said, we're off to Game 5 in Winnipeg. I'll be right back in a second.